Welcome back to the Candidates 2024. It's round number 13. We have only 2 games left, and today we're gonna analyze the gameplay between Gukesh and Alireza Firouzja. Right guys, round number 13. It's getting very interesting. You probably already know the result of this game, but for those of you who haven't seen this game, enjoy. So Gukesh starts with e4, he plays with white pieces. In the other game, Prague playing white against Fabi, and Nepo is playing against Hikaru with white pieces. So, it was a very, interesting round to spectate. We have Berlin defense on the board and knight e4. Alireza trades few pieces of the board right away. And as you can see, there are not a lot of games played in this specific line. So c3, bishop b6, bishop b3, a5, knight c4, threatening this bishop, bishop goes to a7, knight f3 castle, queen f3, and at some point knight f5, bishop g5 is white's idea, d5. And at this point Alireza feels very comfortable because the position is equal, he took the center, bishop is not developed yet, this bishop is opened up, if knight ever goes somewhere, there are not a lot of problems for black. Bishop c2, g6, kind of blocking this diagonal, and also not allowing knight f5 move. Bishop b6, takes, h3, rook e8, bishop a4, threatening the rook, and now counterattack in the center by playing e4. This rook of course can be taken because e takes f3, d takes f4, d takes f4, queen e2, rook e7, knight f1, and look at this active bishop. But the point is, at some point, yeah, white will play bishop e3, bishops will be traded, queen c7, bishop b3, a4, bishop takes, and now bishop e3, trying to trade this bishop off the board. a3, c4, knight h5, g3, bishop c5, b3, f5. So, and here it looked like to many people that, alright, Alireza pushed pawns, he's maybe trying to attack, he's trying to have some fun, and according to computer he's slightly better. But bishop c5, queen c5, rook d1, rook f8, and at some point f4, queen e7, and I was like, around this time, the game between Nepo and Hikaru finished in a draw. And I was like, it would be cool if, Gukesh makes a draw, and Fabi was up in exchange against Prague. So I was like, if we have a 4-way tie going into the final round, that would be one of the most insane rounds in chess history. But again, I was also thinking that Gukesh might lose this game, Nepo and Hikaru will go into the final round, and maybe Fabi, will join them. So there were different, possibilities. Knight f6, rook d2, and now g5. So this is where things started going a bit wrong. So I think Alireza overestimated his chances here, because look, he played g5, and now this pawn, I'll go forward with it because I know what happened. This pawn is a major weakness going into the endgame, which happened. So knight e3, takes, and now look, problems with f5. Queen f7, king h2, knight h5, queen f2, rook g6, rook d5. Look, so Alireza played g5, a move which, he could play something else. He could play h5. His pawns are all protected, and knight e3 wouldn't be so great because it won't attack pawn on f5. But it looks like Alireza just was going for a win, because he doesn't have a successful tournament. He's trying to attack this f4 pawn, queen f2, protecting it. Rook g6, rook d5, now trying to take this, of course, knight g7, rook h6, rook g1, rook g6, rook g1, rook h6, rook g1, rook g6, and here Gukesh could have gone for a threefold repetition by playing rook gd1, and after rook h6 players would have agreed to draw, meaning that we would see a four-way tie break, four-way tie for the first place before final round, and potential four players tie break in the final day on Monday. But queen h4. You remember the moment when Gindoren was playing against Jan Nepomniachtchi in the World Championship match in the final game, and he could have gone for free fall repetition, and then Nepo would have saved his chances, but Jin decided not to go for it and won the World Championship title. Rook g1, king h8, and now after, computer says knight e6, but I analyzed this, and after knight e6 actually black lost. Computer is insane, giving this small edge to white. That of course didn't happen, queen g6 was played, and now unfortunately Alireza got a lost position. Rook d6, rook 8, because the pawn on g6 can't be protected. Rook g6, knight e6, threatened pawn on f4, knight e5, knight e4, rook b6, knight c2, so he's trying to push, but guys, this is one of the most insane lines of my life. You know why e3 doesn't work? e3, king e2, knight d4, this e2, and it looks like the pawn is going to promote, but there is knight f6. Oh my goodness, and e1 can be promoted because of rook h7 checkmate, and let's say this, there's the simple king g4, and still this pawn can be promoted because of rook h7, and let's say rook h3, there is simple rook e7, white will take the pawn and white will win the game. That didn't happen, of course. Rook e6 was played, Alireza is still trying to go for the c3, but rook e7, and now e3, king e2, knight d4, let's say this, same line, knight d4, and there is simple king d3, and let's say e2, there is just rook e6, knight e6, king e2, and game over. So rook h6, c5, knight d4, king g2, rook g6, king f2, rook h6, b4, rook h3, king g2, rook h6, rook b7, king g8, b5, king f8, b6, rook g6, king f2, and here Alireza admitted his loss, and going into the final day, Gukesh Damaraju, the Indian youngster sensation, is the leader of the tournament with 8.5 points out of 13. He only lost one game to Alireza in this tournament, and today he took revenge. And guys, today in the final round we'll have Hikaru playing against Gukesh with white pieces, Fabi playing against Nepo with white pieces as well, and those two games are probably the most important games this year, because Hikaru needs to win no matter what. Same goes with Fabi and Jan. They might make a draw and be good with it as long as Gukesh doesn't win, but they will fight for a win. And tomorrow's round will be one of the greatest in chess history. Tomorrow is where the history might be done. So, today, as you're watching this video. So let's see what happens. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the recap tomorrow after this final fights. See you. Bye bye.